always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. Have you seen that unit? I got to ask all the new co-hosts. Have you seen that unit?
I try not to look.
It's gigantic. It's like a fucking, it's like a tube. Like a paper towel tube.
Feel sorry for his wife.
His poor wife, man. God, that's just, it's a lot. Where's that go? I don't understand. Anyway, all right. And Gutter Work's actually out at my house this week. Got all my fascia and soffit tacked back up nicely. House doesn't look like it's falling apart. It's great. Got a new gutter and downspout in one area. It's fantastic. Can't wait to have more done.
Yeah, no, they do an awesome job. They've done all the gutters and stuff out at the club and everything else. So
hell yeah.
Yep.
They're members there too, right?
Associate members. They were members, and then they got super busy with their work, so they just couldn't put in the time. So
I understand.
They were actually one of the generous ones and said, hey, we're going to step back for a minute because we can't, rather than some of the other members that I've had that just ghost me.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
I know Hallman was trying to get me to join. He was like, man, just join, man. Just join. And I was like, bro, I would love to. I don't have time for that.
I finally got his punk ass
Yep,
to
he
sign
told
up,
me
so.
he told me he's in there now, so I was like, well, that's good, man. That's just another person I know now that I can just call and be like, hey, you want to go ride? Yeah, sure. So
I think he was scared at first, but I think he's really going to enjoy it. So
yeah, well, like I said, it's one of those things I'd love to do, but you know how it is, man. You're running a business, well, a couple of businesses, and
so you don't have to tell me. I run my business still 60, 70 hours a week, plus run the club and everything else. That's why a lot of people...
You want to start a podcast, too? I can help you with that.
Yeah, no offense, but like that's why when people come and whine to me and be like, oh, I got to work, I got this, I got that. And I was like, don't talk to me about this shit because I can give you a 9
to 5, sucker. Like, well, I don't want to talk to you about it.
We can ask my wife how much time I actually put into this, so...
Man. You're just a braver man than me, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just over here I built my own track, kind of. What I mean is I got to play on my zero turn more because I just mowed down the hay that was in the backfield. But it's awesome.
Right.
All right, so let's get this fired off here. 450 race recap. So Sexton goes 2-1. Him and Hunter trading back and forth here. Hunter really wants one of these. Said he's going to sandbag the first moto next weekend to hopefully win the second moto to win an overall.
I don't know how well that's going to work out for him, but...
I don't know, man. Here's the thing with Chase. Okay, he's going to win this title. That's great. I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked everybody else, and everybody who's watching, who's watched the other shows, are going to be like, dude, shut the fuck up, quit asking this question. Does Sexton's season look this way if Jet doesn't get hurt at Hangtown?
That's a hard question because No.
Thank you. Okay, great.
Jet.
There we go. Justin, are you listening to this? I am right about all this stuff. Stanton says I'm right.
Jet is Jet. Jet's the guy right now. I do think that with Jet being gone, to be honest with you, I think it helped Chase.
100%.
Because Chase is a different guy since he's been gone. The
100%.
confidence there, everything else.
Well, he's different, but same at the same time. Because we're still tucking that front, son.
Yeah, he did the one time.
Twice.
Once.
Last week also.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking buds.
Twice.
Anyway, got back up. Still got back up and beat him.
That was...
Back in the day, he would tuck and stay where he was at or fade back.
Yes.
So that's where where he's different. He did tuck the front end.
Yep.
Got back up. Passed all the guys. And then gapped him by, 8 seconds, I think, when it was all said and done?
It was a lot. He was... Dude, he was rolling. He was rocking and rolling. So, but it is funny that he still tucks that front.
Yeah, he has a hard time with that front end. Always has, just like in Des Nations. When he was out there, he faded that. We were on the fence.
Yep.
You and Justin watching him.
Yes. I've said this before. I'll say it again just so that you've heard it now, is that I just don't think his season looks this way if Jet doesn't get hurt. If Jet doesn't get hurt, I think we see a lot more status quo like we saw before. And in fact, I think Hunter is still number 2.
I disagree with that.
So here's my thought process on that. We can go into this here. Mm-hmm. So I think Hunter's number 2.
Don't make me bring back up the whole 11-0 thing.
I think Hunter is better when Jet is there for him to chase. Because it's not oh man, I'm racing somebody else. It's just, psh, fuck my little brother. I'm going to go beat him. So he's faster, I think, because he doesn't think about it as much. Where I think when he's racing these other guys, subconsciously, not even a conscious thing, there's just a difference there. And it is, okay, it's somebody else, essentially. Where like when it's his brother, I mean, we saw this. Look at High Point. Him and Jet ran away from everybody. Like, it was ridiculous. Where like we haven't really seen that with Hunter.
I get that, but I also think that, like, when the first couple races when Jet wasn't there, Hunter sucked.
Yeah,
and everybody thought that because Jet wasn't there to pull him along.
That's what I'm saying. Is if Jet's there, I think he pulls him along, and I think Hunter is solid number 2, also as he is right now. But I think that he's a solid number 2 ahead of Chase because I just don't think Chase is doing what he's doing. I think Chase has a mental block at that point.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I think Chase.
Well, we'll see come SMX here.
Agreed. If Jet's 100%, but I don't even think Jet has to be 100% to unfortunately beat those guys. You know what I mean?
Do you think when? I mean, we already heard what Jeff thought, but when Jet comes back here for SMX, you think he's gonna be subpar, or you think you were gonna jump right back in and be? Because, I mean, SMX, so those are 2 moto formats still, correct, is what we did last year. That's what it was.
Right. And it's more outdoor. Well, I guess these tracks are going to be a little bit more supercrossy than what they were. Because is the Charlotte the only one that's outdoor? Like, as far as, like, at a...
No, they're all 3. So it's Charlotte, which is the 4-lane drag strip, and then it's Texas Motor Speedway, and then it's the Vegas 4-lane drag strip.
So are they all going to be set up like Daytona-ish?
I think they're all going to be very Charlotte-y-ish from last year.
Okay.
To be honest with you, is what I think it's going to be.
Jet's good supercross, but I think he's better outdoors.
Yeah.
So I think... even if he's only 80%, I still think he's going to be out there, and he'll just maintain like we were talking with Jeff. I don't think he's going to go out there and like, fuck you, I'm going to beat you by 20 seconds just to show you I'm still.
I don't think he'll do that either. But I think he wins.
But I do think that Sexton's going to come in like, I just won the outdoors. Yes, you weren't there, but I'm going to prove that I can still beat you.
I think Sexton has a mental block when it comes to Jet.
Think so?
100%. I think as soon as Jet's back on that start line, I think you see Sexton just
fold.
Yep, like a cheap suit.
I hope not.
I mean,
nothing against. I like Chase. I like Jet. I like Hunter. I like them all. But I just want to see good racing. So
I do too.
I hope that it's not one of those Deegan walk away or Jet walk away or maintain like.
Yeah. No, I hope it's good
close.
racing. I just don't think he can beat him. I honestly, I don't think he can beat him. And yes, I guess you could say Miguel Frica. I don't know. I do underestimate Sexton, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but until he beats Jet, straight up,
I also think that Sexton looked a lot better on the KTM than he did the Honda.
So it is coming around, and it's interesting because had this outdoor series not happened, there was some pretty heavy talk/understandings that this 2-year KTM deal might have been a 1-year KTM deal. Now, where does he go? I don't have any damn clue at all. But there was, from what I understand, after Supercross, it was very heavy, like, F this bike and this team, like, this didn't work at all. And now it's not that. Now we're 100% turned around, from what I understand. But there was some pretty heavy, not going to be a thing, which was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. But I don't know. I guess only time will tell, right?
We're going to see in just a few weeks here.
Right.
But he'll wrap the title next week. Does he have a 25-point lead? Is he going to wrap it after first moto?
I think he has a...
Hold on, we're looking it up.
I want to say it was 27, yeah?
So 454, and Hunter has 426. So that is not quite 30. Yeah, 27. Yeah, so he'll probably... Well, depends. If Hunter wins the first moto, then he won't. But he'll wrap it, that's for sure. Turn the microphone on there, off. All fun and games are over when Jet... Are the microphones... Are they really not working? Can nobody hear me? They should be working. Let's see here. Let's turn it up a little bit. Maybe
Nicole,
that'll
you're
help.
Watching. Can you hear? Text me and let me know.
I always worry because that stupid little dongle thing I always think isn't going to work.
Right.
I hate that about that. Thank y'all for tuning in there, watching the live. So if it's not working, please let us know. But anyway, all right, moving on here. So Hunter goes 1-2 for second. So we're still selling 2025s now, which is great. Okay, she can hear us. Jacob, you are...
It's your TV, man.
It's your TV, man. Figured out. All right. Anyway, so Hunter goes 1-2 for second. Really wants one of these overalls. So the crazy thing is, and this was brought up on something I was listening to yesterday, he's only a rookie. So, like, he's going to get better, right?
Right.
Like, we've seen this in Hunter's career. It's a slow burn for him always.
For sure.
So, you put him another few years down the road, I mean, what does that look like?
Yeah, rookie on the 450, but I mean, obviously, he's still got that, you know what I mean? The mentality and whatever. He's just a little slower getting to it than Jet was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I definitely think they're both better on a 450 than they were on 250s.
Yes.
So, Hunter's going to get a win. Win? I don't know.
How?
Especially with his brother coming back. That's not going to give him any favors.
Yeah, I don't know about this year, but... Man, in the future, Jet gets another injury for some reason, which could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, he could easily be in Chase's position.
Re-injure that thumb just like Coop did.
Terrible. It's only sprained this time.
Yeah.
It's only sprained. So, all right. AP goes 3-3 for third. He was a little bummed at first moto on the podium there, which was interesting. You don't usually see that out of that guy. He's usually excited all the time.
Right. Like, they made I think Stu made the comment on the broadcast, though. It's crazy because Duke could get third or fourth, and you would think that dude won.
Yeah.
He is such a fan favorite. Everybody loves
It's
AP.
hilarious. And he's not even a real cowboy.
No.
He's from Ohio, bro.
Yeah.
You're not like a full real cowboy.
I was just telling Nicole this the other day. It's actually really cool. I would think he would be a super cool dude to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like, off scene.
Yeah.
He just seems like a cool guy. We ran into him when we went to Daytona back actually right before COVID.
Okay.
And we were all at a restaurant, and AP, his wife and kids were actually there, and they got up and left, and me and my buddy looked over at him and said, "Hey man, good luck tomorrow, have fun, go get some rest." And he said, "Yeah, I'd rather be here partying. You guys look like you're having way more fun." Just did his goofy little laugh and walked away, you know.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, he's I don't know, he seems like a cool guy. I've never really talked to him that much. I don't fangirl well, so.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever talked to him, but you always got to go out of your way to say hi.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Stu goes 6-5 for fourth.
I was super pumped on that.
That was a great ride by him, dude.
And
that was a great ride.
Even JS7 was a little impressed.
Yeah.
He was talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be. He hasn't rode outdoors in 10 years. He's now riding it, and he ends up fourth here overall. I mean, that's okay. That's respectable for
100%.
for how his last couple of years have gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I did hear that the Husqvarna clan is going away, though, so I'm not sure what's
Yeah,
gonna
I don't
happen
know
with
what's
that,
happening
so
with
I don't
all
know where
that.
he's going to be.
Look, next year is going to be interesting, and whatever, we'll see. I've speculated on that, but I don't know for sure. I know there's a combo thing going on next year because there are contracts that have to be honored, and then after that, I don't know. So he says it just sounds like it's coming from the camera, not from the actual mic, is all. We can hear, but it's really low, is all. Not my janky show. Just trying to help. Well, we appreciate the help.
Right.
I'm not sure. Look, we're just going to keep rolling it. I'm not going to play with it. It says that she should be able to schedule them after.
Oh, what the
I
hell?
don't know what I'm reading from
I
you.
don't know either. It was,
you keep trying to get me to read your sex messages to your wife, and I don't want to.
Relax.
Please stop.
Nicole just said she can hear loud and clear. So.
Okay, well, if you turn that around one time and I see your butt naked, that's it. The show's over. We're done, all right?
You just be jealous, that's all.
Is your butt shaved? Did you get your butthole bleached?
Of course.
Okay, well, then I will be jealous. You are from California, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. So, Jesus.
We're getting too far.
We're off track here. All right, Ando goes 5-6 for fifth. This is just who he is.
Yeah, what do you think about
5
Ando?
guy.
How much longer do you think he's doing this?
Well, I know he's got a deal for next year with Cowie, and then I don't know once we get past that.
Sucks. I really like Ando.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think I could see him going 3 more years, I think. I could see him doing one after that, 1 2-year deal with Triumph.
Do you think he moves to Triumph?
Well, his old best buddy's in charge of that team, so
Who's that?
Bobby Reagan? Or no. Who was the Husky guy, right? Was that right? Who did Husky before Husky kicked him out?
Bobby Reagan was Yamaha, right?
Yeah. So what's the other guy's name? Bobby shit, now I'm blanking. I'm gonna look like an idiot here because of course I can't think of this. Yeah, it was whoever owned the Husky team before that he rode for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does that. Or he does the
I also know
Triumph team.
There's guys that are within the Triumph team that don't get along with Ando very well though. So
Well, that's not a surprise either, man.
Yeah.
He's another one of those guys that I am right in his zeitgeist with people that I know that know him, and I have not met or talked to him yet, so I cannot wait. Also, has a hammer.
Yeah.
Saw it last year, Iron Man. I was like, Jesus, God, okay, let's look away. Look away. Don't stare directly in the eye. God, blind you. His poor wife, too. Jesus. These guys, I don't know where it comes from, so... Thank you all who are watching on the live. Really appreciate it. If the sound's not that great, sorry. It's an iPhone with a fucking dongle in it, so whatever. Anyway, Christian Craig, 7-8 for 6th. He's got basically no left arm.
I was gonna say they were talking that he has no tricep.
Nothing.
That's
I haven't
crazy.
seen it in person, but I've heard it's gnarly. I've heard it's like looking at literally like a baby leg, and not like not like a Jason Anderson, Justin Barcia baby leg, like a baby leg on his arm. But he did hint in an interview I heard this week that he's not done yet.
No, I mean
He has something for next year.
Since he's come back, he looks better.
Yeah, he's getting there.
He's not he's been more of a top 10 guy instead of a top 15.
Yes. And I think it'll be better. I've said the whole time I was waiting for outdoors, him to actually have an outdoor season here on the Husky to really see if it was the bike or him. I don't know. I think it's been a little bit the bike, but we'll see. I'm very curious where he goes next year, but I'm highly suspicious that it might be a Firepower Honda or a Club MX bike. One of the two.
I see Club MX because he's familiar with the Yamahas.
Yeah.
Firepower Honda, why? Because Dino's leaving? Or semi-retired?
Yes, and factory connections involved with that team, so that's why I kind of
just
see
recently,
that.
though, right?
Yeah, that was with the Dylan thing, so I can see him staying on for that. But I don't know. It's interesting because I've also heard him linked to being a star test rider,
And just being done.
I don't know. This is weird.
It all depends on how that arm's going to hold up, I guess, huh?
Well, we won't know till we get through SMX here. So, Eli Tomac makes a triumphant comeback, goes 4-11 for 7th. Second moto was definitely start dependent.
Yeah, I seen that too, like with Deegan, for instance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just...
That track sucks.
It looks fun.
It looks like it'd be fun to ride, but it sucks to race.
Right, but it's got very narrow spots, I noticed.
Well, and everything is downhill, off-cambered, so it's like it just funnels.
Right.
And like I didn't really pay attention to it till yesterday, and then watching that Deegan battle, which we'll get to in the second moto with Romano, and I'm going, this is stupid. Right. Like Deegan should have blown by him, but there was just nowhere to do it.
I think he was being super cautious too. Like he
Little
said in
bit,
the interview,
yeah.
He wanted to hold this. He wanted to hold that plaque. You
Yeah,
know what I mean, so I get it.
But I mean, you look at like Eli that first moto, he was fine.
No, he looked good.
Like he got a decent start. He was up front, and boom, bingo, bango, we were done. Like no problem there. So I think he's got it. I just think that track sucks so bad. I'll be interested to see next week at Ironman in person what it looks like.
For sure.
I'll be paying attention to him. Be paying attention to Kenny, which we'll get to here in the halftime report.
Yeah, I'm super.
We're gonna
we're
gonna talk about in the halftime report, okay? Because I got to ask everybody that comes on. Brock Tickle comes back. I still don't understand why they have him listed in Michigan. He's a North Carolina guy.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
I don't know, but it was impressive. I actually talked to him at Redbud and stuff, and he's actually super pumped to be back on the bike. As far as racing,
yeah.
I mean, he never stopped riding. He's their test guy and everything else, but he. Yeah, I talked to him a little bit over there, and he liked it. But yeah, top 10 for a non-drop gate drop guy. I'm impressed.
He said he has scratched that itch, and he's excited to get back to work testing Supercross for 2025.
Right. Over it.
Yep. Basically,
done with the
man,
welts
I
on
really
his
thought
chest.
I had something, and then, Dungy-esque here.
Did you see his welts on his chest after Redbud?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Gnarly. F that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Nicole asked me, she goes, what are all those from? I said, from rocks. She's like, holy shit.
Like, I'll tell you what, babe, go stand over there. Let me throw rocks at you as hard as I can.
Out of a paintball gun.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just stand there within 5 feet with a paintball gun and shoot you, and let's see what you look like. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So, Phil, 8-12 for 9th. Are you going to miss Phil?
I'm going to miss Phil.
I miss Phil already.
I actually have one of his infamous 69 plates hanging up in my shop.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
That's fucking awesome.
Now, I think he's going to be a great ambassador for the sport still. I still think he's going to be heavily involved.
I think so, too.
I think he's over it. I don't think he's pushing like he was at the beginning of the season. I think it's all starting to sink in, especially after Unadilla, when they gave him the plaque, like
Grand Marshal, everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it is finally starting to sink in, and the whole filthy Phil is getting a little soft towards the end because I think he's getting a little emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too.
But no, I love Phil. I think he's cool.
Yep.
And as much as I don't know the guy, I feel like I know him, especially from Pulp. You know what I mean? Like, he's just...
That's the hard part about this, and I've said this, I've been talking to people about this recently. That's the hard part about it with doing what I do. I know everything about these guys. I know who they are. I know where they're from. I know how they ride. I know who their wives are. I know they got kids. I know all this stuff, right? Half of them don't have half a fucking clue who I am. So to walk up and start talking to them is the most weird thing ever, because you're just like, well, I know everything about you, and you don't know my fucking name. Right. So what's up? Hi, I'm Travis. It's nice to meet you. I run a talk shit radio, and we just tell you guys how terrible you all are all the time, and I'm just a fat old guy. And they're like, yeah, fuck off.
Right.
Understand. See you later. Thank you.
That's why I like talking to the mechanics a lot. You know what I mean? Because just like when I introduced you to Christian, he's just super cool guy, but you would never think that you're talking to the fastest guy out there right now, his mechanic. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's cool being able to be like that too.
I really want to do an interview with Duff. I just think that would be fun. I just want to be like, so what is it like being on camera with those guys all the effing time?
Right. Well, and Duff's been in the sport way
longer
than Deegan.
Which is crazy. He doesn't look that old.
No, but nobody knew who he was until Deegan. Mm-hmm. For the most part. You know what I mean? I
had a slight idea because of him working with Brayton, and Brayton would always talk about Duff, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, all right. So, but, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because, like, to me, some of these guys who are mechanics, like the guy who used to be Zacho's mechanic or whatever, before he retired, God, what was that guy's name? I cannot think of it now. I'm terrible with names tonight. But anyway, you like see some of those guys. Some of those guys look like they've been around for years.
Right.
And then you look at Duff and you're like, he's like 30, right? And you're like, no, he's been wrenching for 20 fucking years.
Right.
And it's like, wait, what? he looks like he's 30. So he started when he was 10? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. So I don't know.
And
it's crazy.
Have you talked to Duff in person?
No.
So he's a pretty cool guy. Like, we met him at Redbud a couple times, and he goes and trolls the B-lot and shit, you know what I mean, just to see what's going on. It's funny, but yeah, he's damn near like my youngest daughter. She gets all geeked when she sees him, and like she wouldn't even know who he was if it wasn't for Deegan, you know what I mean? So
he I just wonder what it's like being in that atmosphere of the Deeks. But he at the same time, he seems very perfect for that atmosphere.
No, for sure. He fits in perfect.
Like, he does, like, because there are some of those guys that, like, they don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be known. They're just there to do their jobs, and, like, that's it. Where, like, him, it's like, he plays with it. And it's like, all right, that's cool. I enjoy that. So
it's just like, Brandon Zimmerman.
Yeah.
You know Zim? So if you talk to him about how he was upset about how him and Adam broke up and he didn't get to go with them, and then he ended up being Chase's mechanic and whatever. So I don't know, it's kind of cool to see some of those local guys go to the top too, you know?
Yeah, the Zim thing was interesting. I think I DM'd him after the whole Sexton deal to try to talk to him or have him on talk about it, but he did not want to talk about it.
I know when because Chris, my buddy Chris Failing, you know him, he's pretty good friends with Zim, and when like the whole Adam thing went down, they wouldn't let him bump up to the 450s without him, so he stayed down, and actually Mitch had him working him in the shop. So he's still with Pro Circuit, still on the team until he got win with Chase. But the whole mechanic thing's cool, though. Like, I remember when, do you know Ollie?
Yeah.
So Ollie was Faulkner's ranch for a while, and I was talking to him, and he was super frustrated with Faulkner because of the whole girl bullshit that was going on between Sexton and Faulkner and all that whatever's going on.
Dude,
that next year is when he ended up going and being with Barsha. So he said, yeah, I'm over it. I'm out of here.
There was a lot in that Faulkner atmosphere with his parents' divorce that ended up coming into the paddock and all sorts of weird shit like that. That was I actually feel bad for that kid of like how things have gone, of not only the bad luck he's had, but then you get all that stuff too, and it's like, oh man, brother, just just the thoughts that you got to have watching Sexton win a Supercross title and win a motocross title in the 450s and like
Jet for that matter.
Yeah,
because I mean he was running bar to bar with Jet before Jet landed on him.
I mean he was smoking Sexton in 250 class.
Right.
So I don't know. Anyway, where are we at? Oh, Justin Cooper goes 24 for 10th. That crash was gnarly.
Yeah, it was.
Did you see the video Vital got of it? And he just laid there for a second. Like, he did not move.
Yeah, when he got up, he didn't know where his bike was.
No. They said, oh, well, the camera angle. No. He didn't know where his bike was. He was going the wrong direction for a second. That was another one of, like, maybe the Alpine Star guy should have been like, hey, brother, come on over here. Let's chat for a sec, you know? But, I mean, fourth that second moto. And what have you thought of his rookie season here? Because I think it's been fine.
Yeah, I think Coop's doing good. I think he's another guy that's super underrated.
Yes.
And I'm going to be super bummed if he loses his ride. Because there has been talk that he might be losing his ride at Star. Just like when people came in, when we won Designations.
Yeah.
People are like, why is Coop on there? Should be this, should be that, should be whatever. And he came out and he did the best out of the three. Mm-hmm. He performed.
Yep.
So I think he's a super underrated guy. I'm a Coop fan.
He's kind of like Dungey 2.0 without the titles.
A little bit.
But, like, as far as podiums and stuff go, like
Diesel, that just doesn't...
Just goes out there and does the work.
But Dunge got recognition, and Coop don't.
Yeah.
That's the bummer part.
He's just always flown right under that radar of the good guys. It's very strange. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Star gets rid of him, it's fucking dumb.
Yep.
It's absolutely all the 250 guys you sign, and you can't come up with a little bit of salary for him.
But Bobby likes to throw that money around. He just wants the championship on 250s and 450s.
That's because Bobby doesn't have any kids, man. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to spend it.
Were you, when was that? When Ferrandis was on the team and he came up and he's like...
Sorry to interrupt you. Bobby Hewitt is who runs the Triumph team.
There it is.
Like, yep. Sorry. Bobby. That came to my mind. I was like, gotta throw it out there. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, he was up on the stand and Ferrandis just won the title. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this is what an all-American team looks like and stuff. And Ferrandis is looking at him like, dude, what? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. He's, yeah. Congrats to them, but when you have a 45-man team, it's kind of hard not to win both sides.
Well, you know, the other manufacturers are catching on. Pro Circuit's signing like 87 guys for next year.
Who's all on there that you know of?
Faulkner's re-signed. Hammaker's re-signed. McAdoo's re-signed. Keep running down the list.
Marchbanks just came.
Marchbanks is in there. Masterpool got a deal.
He did end up getting a deal.
Masterpool's got a 2-year deal in your indoor-outdoor.
He's another guy that I'm super pumped for because that kid deserves it.
Who's the other kid that rode for him this year? There's another one. Oh, Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Kitchen's on there.
Yeah, he'll stay, obviously.
And then I don't know what the Adams situation is.
Well,
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been poached by Star yet.
Talking to Jeff, it sounds like he's going to be up on that team. I mean,
that's what I've heard, but
redheaded Ricky.
We'll get to that. All right, Roman Pope, 12-13 for 11th. Freddie Noren, 17-9 for 12th. Michigan's own Marshall Welton goes 13-15 for 13th. Dylan Ferrandis, 37-7th. I don't know what happened to that first moto. He must have crashed. For 14th. Colin Park, 11/18 for 15th. He just wants a top 10. Derek Kelly, 15/17. If you have anything on any of these guys, feel free to stop me. 15/17 for 16th. Henry Jacoby, 10/37 for 17th. Chiz gonna chiz, goes 16/19 for 18th. Grant Harlan, 30/14 for 19th. And Ari Kulas goes 14/26 for 20th. To round out your top 20 there. Let's see here. Where the fuck is Falkirk? Tristan Pordon, Falkirk. Doesn't give me a country. Weird. Jace Kessler made the motos, 32/30 for 33 overall. And that's it for Michigan people. Cool.
It is cool to see Kessler and Welton up there, though.
Big old RevX logo on Kessler's jersey there. That always seems to manage to make it on TV, which is hilarious.
The Unadilla.
Yeah.
I seen it huge. I was like, holy shit.
There it is.
Yep.
All right. Anything else 450-wise before we take another break here?
I think I'm good. I don't know.
Okay.
I was impressed. Fun racing.
Just getting to the end of the year, so it's kind of, yeah.
Right.
I mean, Tomac came back. Okay, that was fun to watch. Outside of that, everything was status quo, basically.
I was hoping that Mookie was going to hang on to that third place. So
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool for sure.
But, I mean, top 4 outdoors. He's not an outdoor guy.
No.
Them dreads just hold you down outdoors. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, thanks everybody who tuned in for the live show. Let's see. You forgot Kitchen. No, I remembered Kitchen at the end. Deegan said in the press conference he broke his wrist. He will not move up to 450 till he wins 250 Supercross Championship. Well, we'll see. I don't think
it'd be a smart move if he went straight to 450 just yet.
So we were kind of talking about him possibly racing a 450 at Ironman because the title's wrapped. But then he made mention in the press conference that he's excited to race Kenny, so I don't think that's going to happen. But I do know there were rumblings of that because I kind of made that up last week. And then I talked to some people, and I found out, no, there's legit rumblings about this going through the Star Truck of him possibly riding a 450, which I think is the move. I think he should.
I don't know. The way he rides that bike and how he's to the moon on it, I think he's going to be more of... He should stay on the 250. Just my thought.
So here is my thought on him riding the 450 Ironman, okay? Kenny's riding 250, which again we'll get to here. If that's been your 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Thanks for that.